What's up? It's Levi. If you're watching this, you're trying to find ways to make money without needing a degree, without needing a lot of capital, or without needing experience. I've coached over 100 people through this exact system. Guys who had zero sales background, guys who were stuck doing door-to-door, making zero money. And the people who did try to go the online route burned everything trying to find something that actually worked. By the end of this training, you will understand exactly what high-ticket sales is and why most people who get into it actually fail. I'm gonna teach you my system called the placed method, which we use to place people directly on their offers. First, what is high-ticket sales? High-ticket sales is selling a service-based business online that costs anywhere between $3,000 to $50,000. You're selling coaching programs or consultants offers or agency services. Instead of selling something for $20 and needing 1,000 sales to make money, you're closing a handful of deals and you're making more than people make in a normal job the whole year. You'll do this over the phone or on video calls. You don't need any inventory or any storefront. You don't need a cold call or cold knock on doors. You talk to someone who's already interested in what you're selling and guide them to a decision. That's the entire game. So this is what a closer and a setter actually is. There's two roles inside of high ticket sales. A setter is a person who finds the lead and builds a conversation. They are the first human touch in the process. And then they get them booked on a call. They work in DMs or on the phone or other outreach methods. Their entire job is to get a qualified person on the calendar. The closer is a person who actually gets in the call and closes the deal itself. The closer takes the lead that the setter books. He handles objections, and then he asks for the sale. Most people start in setting and then they move up into closing once they have built the reps. And some people will even go straight into closing if they already have the sales experience. Either way, both roles will make you real money. And they are roles that you can start from zero. So this is going to be the main closing framework. Call opener. We have to start off with a rapport. We have to build a connection with the prospect, because if you don't start the call off with a connection, they're just going to think of you as a salesman, and no one wants to be sold. Everyone wants to buy. Now transition into call. You have to frame the call. You're either going to frame the call or the prospect is. And if he frames the call, you lose all authority. So you have to let him know how the call is going to go, what type of questions, how are you guys going to get into it? And then from there, go accordingly. Creator familiarity. How familiar they are with the creator. You ask questions to know how nurtured were they by the creator? How much value did they learn from the creator? How long were they watching? Why did they book now rather than 2 months ago if they watched 2 months ago? All of these questions are necessary. It will uncover what they think about the creator and also maybe pain points. Discovery. This is by far the most important. It should be the longest part on your call. If it isn't, you're doing something wrong. The main 3 things we need to do in discovery are very important. 1, you have to pre-handle all 3 objections: money, commitment, and value. If they see all 3 of those, there isn't a reason why they shouldn't go through with it. 2, uncover all pain points. What really hurts in what they're doing right now? Why do they want to improve? Why do they want to change? All of these things will help you close. Number 3, what are they doing currently for work? How do they like it? Is it something that they want to keep going with? Is it something that they want to abandon? What do they want to do in their life moving forward with it? If you did discovery correctly, you have all the pain points. You pre-handled all their objections, and you know everything you need to know about them and what they're doing for work and what they think about high ticket sales. Discovery is very important to get it done right. So pause the screen, notice the questions, and see why we're asking them. What type of answer are we trying to get from it? Because when you can understand that, it will be easier for you to build your sales personality. Now, we're still going with discovery. As I said, most important part. Section 4, find the problem. You have to find the problem in what they're currently doing. What is the main bottleneck? Why aren't they able to reach the goals that they want to reach? And we don't just straight up ask for the problem. We ask for questions and make it say them themselves so they realize they have a problem and that they want a solution. And then we show them the solution. Now, we always want to make sure that we're asking open-ended questions, because if we ask open-ended questions, we're talking less and the prospect is talking more, which is super important. If you are talking more than the prospect, you are doing something horribly wrong. You are giving them more information than receiving. You aren't uncovering everything that you need to uncover. Now, after we find the problem, we have to pre-handle the objections. We want to double down and make sure that they're all pre-handled before we even go close to closing. We have to pre-handle money, commitment, and value. Once all three of those are pre-handled, we can move forward. Now, after we go ahead and pre-handle, we have to show them the solution. Okay? After we show them the solution, we go through the various questions. And again, pause the screen so you can look at the questions and understand why we're asking them. Now, after they understand the solution, they have the solution and they have that version of self in the head that they want to be. We give them a commitment check. How committed are they to become that version of themselves? After we're done doing that, they have the commitment. They've pre-handled completely. Now we pitch. We give them just enough information for them to want to know more, and we use that motivation to close them. Now we're going to want to close. Closing is simple. They have everything we need them to have. Now, say the value before dropping the price. How would you like to proceed? Shut up. You guys talk way too much and ruin the sale by just talking way too much. Shut up. He's either going to do three things. One, he's either going to say yes and go through with it. Two, he's going to say the objection flat out. Three, he's going to throw a smokescreen at you. And if you look at the objection handling that we have here and you pause the screen, you should know how to reframe his mindset completely and close it from there. Now, let's look at the objection handling. It covers everything. Their fear, the logistics, whether it's a real objection or a smokescreen. We have reframes. We have the plain reframe. So we have three reframes here. We have the bridge reframe, we have the plain reframe, and we have the island reframe. All of these reframes are super important to know, and they're going to get you far in closing if you want to be able to close any prospect you see. If you want to be able to close any single prospect you talk to. Now, the burned and scammed objection, how to handle that also. If they're not committed or pushing off, the money objections, the partners and parents, think about it. Down payment and logistics, stubborn, and a final close sequence. Using this, you're going to be able to give yourself the freedom that you want to have. So actually treat it like that. Treat it like you want it more than anything. This framework is what is giving my students freedom 24/7. Every single day we get results because of it. So drill it, learn it, and you will become 10 times better. Drill it, learn it, and you will become 10 times better. That is all our sections. And if you actually go through it again, pause it, you will understand why we asked the questions that we asked. Pause the parts where I showed the whole page and ask yourself, why is that question there? What type of answer are we trying to get from that question? And you'll understand a lot about how we're controlling the call through our open-ended questions. So this is our main setting framework, and I'm going to explain to you guys exactly how it works, the mindset behind it, even the psychology behind it. So take notes, pause the sections that you need to read to actually take this information in. What your job actually is. Your job is to qualify people. Book the ones who are a fit with the closer. Don't book random people because the closer's close rate depends on you. You are the first human touch in the process. How to think about every single one of your conversations. It's important for you not to think about the money, but think of yourself as a doctor that's going to listen to the problem before prescribing anything.
Platform openers. The principle behind every opener is the same. Make it feel real, like a person is actually reaching out to them, not a simple template or a script. Don't be afraid to go off script. This is the DM setting framework part. As you guys see here, we have multiple different outreach methods for cold and even warm. It matters because if it's cold, they've never watched any of your content before. They have never engaged with your content. So you have to open a different type of way so like that you can open opportunities to nurture them in the future. Now, cold calling is also, I don't recommend, don't do cold calling, but just in case someone is stuck cold calling out there and you have to build your way up, this is what you should do. As you guys see with the cold calling script, I'm not going to touch too much about it because that's not what we're all about here. We're about warm leads only, but just for the people who need it, you can stop for a second and grab it. Now, full DM flow, open to booked call. Once they responded to the opener, ask what got them interested. What exactly got you interested in working with offer owner? Why that specifically? We ask open-ended questions so we get a lot of information. We're not talking more than them. We're not DMing more than them. The less amount of messages that you can send while getting more information will make you a better DM setter. Talk less, receive more. As you guys see here, there is multiple steps with DM all the way from open to booked. To pause the screen if you guys want to actually look more in depth into it, if you guys are looking to become a DM setter. But let's go forward to the dialing because I feel like that's really important. This is our full phone flow, all the way from cold call to a booked call. So first we have to do an opener. We do an opener so like that we can grab the attention. They're not just going to hang up on us immediately. After we get their attention, we have to go in with intent. Get the intent, get them engaged, get them having actually have them understand that they have a problem. Just asking open-ended questions to get information. Get experience and cause. Get experience. That's number one. You have to get the amount of experience that they have. So how long have you been doing it? What's causing you to want to change? What do you mean by that? Get the experience in the cause of what they want to change. Get the income goal. How much do they want to make? That's the real question. How much do they want to make? What goals do they want to hit? Financial qualification. You can't let them get on the call with the closer if they're not financially qualified before they get on. If you're unsure about the financial qualification or a lower amount, we have to double down on the qualification. Transition to booking. You can't just not transition and automatically book them. The transition has to be smooth. It has to make them feel comfortable. Lock the show. If you don't lock the show, they're just going to no-show on you, and we don't like that. Lock the show. You want to make sure that this is something that they're actually going to be able to show up to and that they're not just saying yes to your question. Warm up before the call. Always send them content. Always send them testimonials.
Here's what nobody tells you about high-ticket sales. The skill is only half of it. The other half is what you have access to. Most people try to break into the space, never have any access to real offers. They end up working for small operators making 5 to 10K a month online. These offers have zero lead flow. You'll end up quitting immediately. That is exactly why we train you and place you directly on an offer. This is my system. It is built different than anything else out there. Most programs will train you to sell and will leave you to get connections on your own. You finish their course and then you're back to square one, applying to companies that you don't even know. The PLACE method is training plus placement. You learn how to close at a high level and then I place you immediately into a vetted offer through my own personal network. This is not a generic job board. This is direct placement, meaning you don't have to outreach to find a job. I will give it to you. And I'm not just gonna sit here and tell you that this is something that works. Let me tell you about some of the people that it actually worked for. Let me show you some student wins of people who actually made real money using the placed method. These aren't outliers. This is exactly what happens when someone takes the training seriously and gets placed the right way. Okay, cool. You made it this far. We know that this is something that you want to look further into. Go ahead, book that call. You'll speak to me or one of my coaches. We will walk you through the program, answer all of your questions, and see if you're an actual good fit. You can go ahead and click the link below and book that call.